This is here.
Beautiful.
Going straight, the sleeves are the line right up there.
So when do you get to the hard part?
Yeah, you said that wasn't the hardest part earlier. We haven't been there yet?
The hardest part was tucking the corners.
Okay, there we go.
That-
Cutting the hole for the studs.
Oh, that's easy.
No, we got a semi-secret for that.
I just need to cut this up. Yeah.
Beauty, eh?
Eh?
Trade secrets going on here in secret. We're just congratulating ourselves that so far it's looking pretty good on that side. You got to do that once in a while when you're doing upholstery work. As far as I'm concerned, the absolute worst is headliners. I hate working over my head, and you want those things to end up looking really nice. I hate headliners.
That's why I only buy a convertible.
Yeah.
Well, the convertibles are right up there as far as replacing those tops.
Just leave it down.
Again, I'm one of those idiots that has to say that he did everything himself.
Notice that idiot that says he has to.
Except for that one little flaw over there we're showing.
So I just put in a hog ring that actually hit the vinyl, and you don't want to do that because it will actually pull on the vinyl too much. So I had to remove that one. And I don't know if this is the right way or not, but I like to work mine evenly, and about every 2 hog ring clips I like to flip it over, see what's happening as far as any puckering on top. And so if you don't do your own upholstery and the guy says, you know, okay, it's going to be this many dollars for me to install, just remember sitting here in the cool Michigan weather and how long it took us to do this. Of course, we're going to blame any of the speed on yakking to you guys.
That's only half of one season. I've taken 3 or 4 long. Never.
This side we want to pull it slightly that way. Just a little.
It's an art.
Now there's probably better ways of doing it. I've always found that I'm best cutting the hole last. It's just like installing a carpet with a standard shift transmission. I'm terrible on sheetrock, and I'm terrible on trying to do a standard shift without taking the shifter out. If I take the shifter out, the hole is always perfect. I can measure 10 different directions, cut my hole, put it over the shifter. It's never right.
We shouldn't be concerned about tautness.
No, we're going to, fairly soon, we're going to cut that. As soon as we get onto this one over here, and I like the looks of it, it may be stretching the vinyl a little bit because it's so warm. Normally it wouldn't stretch it quite that much, but it's going to spring back. Maybe not today, but once it cools back down, it will spring back.
That would 5 months we're gonna be shoveling snow.
Yep.
I'm looking at this thinking, I still got a seat back to do. And another bun and another top. Oh, man. You pay $70 per seat? Oh, you ought to go back and get that $40. Don't you think? You'll do that, right? Dang. You had bottoms, tops, and bottoms in the seat, or just this office? Oh, okay.
Does anybody have a utility knife on them or a really sharp decker?
What my guy did was he just tapped that where the stud sticks out.
Yep.
He just tapped it around with the back of his hog ring plier, and it
Okay.
made a perfect circle. So all he did was just tap it,
Okay.
just lightly all the way around, and it worked.
Maybe like you're knocking out gaskets.
He's no longer here, so we can
You want to no longer here?
we'll try that.
Look at that.
Oh, isn't that fun?
Woohoo!
I learned one trick watching.
Good. Now I got 2 reasons to change the instruction sheet.
There you go. Good one. It doesn't stress the vinyl, it doesn't seal it. Yeah, that's a whole idea. Talk about a trick of the trade, eh?
Yeah.
He did my seats in about an hour a piece for $75 a piece.
Whoa!
I told him he's going to go back. He feels bad. He's going to go back and give the guy another $75.
Plus he sanded it and painted it, spray painted the frame and everything.
That is so good in so many ways. You put a slit in there, and that's stressing the glass.
Okay, we'll give you a quick look at what we've got so far. Seam lines up pretty good there. We're starting to look pretty nice up on top.
Now, couldn't you make that seam to the side? Couldn't you like duct tape that seam to the side? Where the body is? The seam is you want to make sure it's.
I know, like flap, you're pulling from the outside.
The sewing flap.
Oh!
Yeah.
Tape it on the inside.
On the inside, you want duct tape to keep it where you want it.
I'm always leery with vinyl, the adhesives, and any kind of tape. You never know if it's going to off-gas and start affecting the vinyl. I mean, yeah, it would be nice, but I'm leery. If you're doing any upholstery work, don't just grab the closest type of glue off the shelf. Any glue that we sell for vinyl is specific for vinyl, because vinyl has plasticizers and other material in them. It's petroleum based, and if you use the wrong glue, it can start dissolving almost instantly. So especially if you're going to glue something down, you really have to be careful. The other trick that people don't know is they'll get the 3M upholstery spray glue and they get impatient. So it says spray both sides, and they spray both sides, and then they try to put it together. At that point, you have lost your battle, because after that, even if you now let it set up for some reason, it will never stick right. That 3M spray glue is a contact type glue, and you want both of those pieces to be almost to the point there's no tack before you put them together. Then they'll stay. Anything up till then, you're wasting your time and effort. So that's the trick with upholstery glue. We don't use it for much of anything. We have commercial contact glue that we'll use. And that would be the stuff that we sell also. Okay, let's see where we're at. Before we go too much further, we've got to get our cardboard in. So since we were smart and saved our cardboard.
I think he put it over there. Cal, it's over on top of the cabinet, the can.
Okay. I've learned the hard way, no matter what you're doing, don't throw it away until the card or whatever your aspect you're working on is done. That one thing that you throw away ahead of time ends up being the only thing in the world that doesn't exist except in your hand. So if you've saved this, it gives you an idea of what you've got to do. Okay, there's two bends on the flaps, so we're going to bend that flap and that flap, this flap and this flap. So that makes it look basically like this. Now, since you all took pictures, you know exactly how it goes back on.
Now, is that just being held in by the seat cover?
That would be purely held on by that. There's nothing else holding this on at all. It goes here. Once we install the rest of it, it holds it in place. And it just keeps these sharp edges from cutting through. Now you'll also notice we use real felt like the factory did here. And they did that for the same reason, so that it won't puncture through. A lot of the reproduction upholstery guys won't go to the expense to get the real felt. They'll just use junky old stuff. But we're lucky in that 3/4 of a mile away from us is a place, 3/4 of an hour is a place that actually makes felt, and that's all they make. And that's another thing that's a little hard these days to find, is somebody that makes felt. So right now we're just kind of putting this over this, getting a feel. And again, this is where it can be confusing if you didn't take your pictures. You know, what goes where here? You know, I got flaps here, I got flaps here. You know, what's going to happen? Well, this one ends up getting tucked back like this. This one is starting to go back like this, and you can start to see that it's starting to look finished off pretty good. So for the people over here, you know, what do we do with all these flaps? This one gets tucked back in here. I still don't know why this long tail is here. GM put it on, so we put it on. We'll make sure it stays tucked out of the way. Again, okay, now what would I do? Okay, you go and look at your picture because you don't remember where the heck did they hog ring this stupid thing. Can't push the digital pictures enough.
They're cheap enough, aren't they?
They're cheap enough. If you haven't gone digital, do it. I've got 25,000 slides in my collection, and I wish I'd switched to digital long, long since. The thing I don't like about this aspect is you can't see the bottom at the same time that you're pulling these corners, so you don't know for sure, you know, how much do I need to pull these. The other thing I don't know is I'm not positive which the factory did first. My belief is that they pulled this thing last. So I usually work on these corners first, then do this as the very last. Is that the right way? No. Does an upholstery do it that way? Maybe. I don't know. It's just the way that I do it. I want to pull it fairly tight, and then I've got to make sure that when I do clip this, I get into that side wire. And I'll probably just put one so I can take a look at it and not have to take out two if I don't like the looks of it, because you know how much I love going back and forth and redoing stuff. You do want to pull them a little bit forward because they cover a little hole. So it's not just up, it's up and forward. And I think probably the most important thing is do not rush taking the old one off. I mean, we kind of rush through it, but if you're lucky enough to have an original or have an old one that someone put on like the original, you'll learn a lot taking it off. So it's not just, oh boy, all I gotta do is get this thing off here and the new one's gonna go right on. It's gonna teach you a lot. Now I'm saying to myself, that seems as though that should have been pulled, where I don't do these every day. I've got my own cheat sheets that I took.